Hey 143 fam, we're going to take a look at your March horoscopes here, your love and your general overview. For those of you interested in my giveaway this month, I'm going to be choosing two winners. You'll get to decide between a free reading or a free healing session. If you'd like to be considered, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below your video, and I will notify winners at the very end of the month. You guys who follow me on Instagram already know I'm at Urban Soul Guru, but I'm thinking of possibly merging my Urban Instagram with my private songwriter page. You're more than welcome to follow me there too, at Tony Writes Official. All of my contact information is in the box below. But let's jump into your horoscopes now and see what's in store for March. Hey Aries, this reading is for Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to take a look at your general overview first, then love. I'll have timestamps down below. Aries general overview, March 2020. Aries general overview, March 2020. Aries, Spirit's saying that someone may get caught this month. If someone is taking credit for work you've done or taking credit for something that you've done, they're going to get caught this month. Somebody's getting caught. Spirit's saying exposure, like there's some sort of exposure around it. Feels like for some of you, this very well could apply to something on the family front. For those of you who have children with a partner that you are no longer with, and possibly even for some of you who are still with this partner, but it feels more like for those of you who are possibly separated but have a child together, there's been some concern around, even if a child is young, do they see that you are the one doing all the work, paying the bills, taking care of them, nurturing them, really being the grown adult in the relationship, and wondering if the parent who's there some of the time, who sort of half-asses it, are they looking like the good parent? Does the child understand what you're doing, especially if you feel like you have to be the parent to discipline a child all the time, and the other partner maybe more consistently wants to be a friend, so you're left doing all the hard work alone? A child, regardless of age, and I think for some of you this could be a breakthrough for an older child, possibly a teenage child, and this may surprise you, but this feels like Spirit's saying any age though, even really young kids. It's like there's exposure now. They see who's reliable. They see who isn't for them. Even if you feel like you're taking on the brunt, taking the brunt of the majority of the responsibilities, even the difficult times and moments and decisions. It's like a child respects you and understands the dynamic, even if it's more intuitive for them, even if they can't fully communicate that, they're feeling that there is an understanding. For those of you in a work setting, it feels like somebody may be taking credit for your work. If this is creative and they're maybe stealing work, or you're submitting something at the same time, or it's something that's supposed to be a group effort, but you know that you've done the majority of the work. A boss, a superior, this could also be another coworker calling them out, but someone gets called out. Someone gets caught. Someone gets called out this month. Okay, so let's get a little bit more clarity on this. Spirit's actually saying do one more shuffle, so let's do it. All right, Aries. Aries general overview, March 2020. Spirit's saying it's not... Well, this is going to go hand in hand with somebody being caught. This very well could be you calling somebody out. Like, wait a minute. This is my intellectual property. No, you don't. No. Okay, yes, we both have responsibilities to our children or to our child, but what are you doing? Because I feel like I'm doing everything myself. Like, you may be calling that person out as well this month. But it does feel like somebody's exposed, and it feels like it's a bigger conversation than just you and one other person. It feels like somebody maybe higher up, or again, like I just keep really channeling something about a child. Someone sees the truth now. But Spirit's also asking you to not have too much compassion. I think there are times where you're like, well, this was a group project. The work got done. Why do I need all this credit? Is it going to look right if I claim, I almost feel like you don't have to do that. You don't necessarily have to go into a boss and say, look, like, these are my ideas and someone else is getting credit for this. It's almost like they already know. They may be calling somebody out. Someone may lose a job over this, to be honest. In those kinds of circumstances where it's more than just like an assertive confrontation from a place of self-love and it's something bigger than that, understand that for somebody in the picture, this is just karmic. So whether or not you infuse love into the situation or not, some of what's going to happen is out of your control and it needs to happen. Also, to Spirit saying, don't be an enabler. Especially for those of you with a coworker or someone at work, maybe you really like and you really respect, you have a friendship, but don't enable them. Someone could possibly be enabling somebody else by doing the brunt of the work. Let them grow up. Let them be more responsible. Let them take on some of the responsibility. Let this other person exercise their Spirit saying creative depth, right? If you're always doing the work, they never really get to exercise that muscle either. So this is just as much about protecting you as it is about really somebody else learning a lesson here, okay? I see some of you having to be assertive. Spirit saying whistle caller. So if there's like a whistle caller and like, what does that really mean? Like you may see that as like a weakness and you may be like, why would that person do that? I didn't really want this credit or this, like I don't do drama. I'm not trying to do this right now. Understand that even the whistleblower, like they may get called out. Like, what are you doing? Someone's getting called out on something this month. It feels like somebody close to you. It doesn't necessarily feel like you are getting called out, Aries, although be careful if you do feel like somebody may be doing the brunt of the work and you're just kind of skating by. That does not feel like Aries at all, and I think you know that. Someone's getting called out this month, okay? Law of attraction, center of the reading. I think some of you, as much as you have compassion for people around you and you do want to help and you don't mind taking on the brunt of the work, some of the time you are attracting something healthier than that. You're attracting healthy boundaries. We spoke last month about the shift in energy with Aries. You're no longer willing to go through unhealthy situations, relationships, dramas, giving more than you receive. So you are consciously manifesting some of these situations and the karma coming full circle, not in the sense that you're messing with anybody's free will, but just because you're asking universe to recognize self-love. You're asking universe for the credit where credit is due. So if you're getting the credit that is due to you, someone else can no longer steal the credit or steal the creative idea or Spirit saying steal the limelight or the spotlight. It's like, what is that energy for you? Are you fully aware of what that is? Is it something that's been weighing on you for a long time? I think for those of you who are dealing with your child's other parent, okay? Like a parent in the picture who isn't paying child support, but they're still being like the best friend, and that feels like something that's been weighing on you for quite a long time, especially if your children are older and you're like, I wonder if my kids know what I've actually done for them. There's a blessing in disguise here, and Spirit's saying it comes down to not just self-love, but this like major life shift. You are consciously shifting something. So if some of these situations are really uncomfortable, especially if you're like, why is that coworker calling, this person out on my behalf? Like, I didn't ask them to do that. I don't really want this attention or this drama. It could be a little uncomfortable. You may even be a little upset at the person, like the whistleblower or the person. It's almost like it wasn't really their business to do that. So maybe there's ulterior motive there too. And you're just like, oh, I'm so over this. Recognize that there's something really good that's going to come out of it though. Don't block this energy. It's not about running away from uncomfortable situations. Spirit may put you in some, but it doesn't feel like it really is directly related to you, though. It's somebody close to you, okay? And so you may be feeling uncomfortable because you're seeing like the toll of someone being called out and you're like, oh man, why was my name thrown into this? So just prepare yourself, okay? This isn't all negative though. Assertiveness is being clarified, but let your past go. For those of you where that's like a past tense situation, it's just time to let the energy of it go because you need to move forward. There's this momentum that Spirit keeps talking to Aries about. Move forward, open new doors, be around people who are just as inspired and brilliant as you. People who vibe at the same level, that vibe high. There are people who have been in your presence who honestly, like, they may have been taking more than they were giving, but it's because it's really been the best that they could do. They're just not, they haven't had the kind of growth that you've experienced. It does not mean that anybody should be getting away with any kind of bad behavior here. It's just time for you to surround yourself with higher vibing people. But this particularly pertains to those of you in some sort of creative field on the work front here, Aries. It's time to do something new and it's time to let go. Law of Attraction Center, the reading. Opportunity to forgive. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like this blessing in disguise. Yeah, there could be some discomfort, but it's helping you clear the slate here. It's helping you move on. If you're in a situation where somebody is taking credit and they're not getting called out, it's because Spirit's saying, look, we're not trying to fix this situation for you because you're not meant to be in this particular situation. It's time to move forward. We'll answer this prayer, but through a different group of people, through a different job, through, for some of you, it's like a completely different line of work. For some of you, maybe starting something on your own. Blessing in disguise, clarified by Cupid here and by love. For those of you where that message pertains to an ex or a family member, I see better love coming in here. The blessing in disguise is that somebody's true colors have now been exposed or about to be exposed. And again, it like clears a slate. It clears the slate so you get closer, so that you truly call in. Through law of attraction, you do this consciously. You call in situations and people and work that you love. You've been through so much the last year, the last couple of years for many of you. It's time to have a different experience. Spirit wants you to consciously own that, but there's something that needs to be forgiven and something that still needs to be let go. Okay, so if you already know what that is, clear that, work on that, offer that forgiveness early in the month. Clean slate here because there's something much bigger coming through for you. Crowning the reading is fresh air. Spirit's saying an air sign, possibly someone who's going to feel like a breath of fresh air coming in. For some of you, I think that's going to pertain to romance and love. But I think for others of you, it's a job, it's a group of people, maybe it's a new group of friends. It's a breath of fresh air because you're actually going to be surrounded by people who are like you, who understand you, who work as hard as you, people who can give and receive equally. That's a breath of fresh air. It's going to be a breath of fresh air, even if somebody has to be called out, okay, this month. It's going to be a breath of fresh air to not be doing the work of two people, okay, and only be getting paid for the work of one person, or only be getting, you know, a fraction of the credit when all of it's been your work and your spirit keeps coming back to intellectual property. So I'm feeling like many of you could be writing something, creating something, intellectual property. If somebody has stolen your intellectual property, this is also going to be a really good time. Spirit's saying to get legal involved, okay? Nobody is allowed to take your work and claim it as their own. This is the shift. This is the empowerment. I don't think you need me to remind you of that. I think you're very much in alignment with going after what is of your highest good at this time, even if you have to cut ties, even if you have to ruffle some feathers, okay? But this is just another affirmation that, like, yes, you are on the right path if you're doing that. Bottom of the deck here, energy healing and energy work. If you feel like this gets heavy, get some energy work done. You know I can help you with this. I'm always here. This is what I specialize in, is energy healing. But it does feel like something needs to be cleared. And if you don't want to be caught up on that all month long, get some energy healing done at the start of the month, or whenever you're hearing this video or seeing this video. Get energy work done as soon as you can. For those of you who do it for yourself, do it for yourself. And just clear this and be done, because I feel like you're supposed to come full circle with a clean slate. So let's see how this applies to love. I will say right off the bat, I'm getting for many of you to trust new love. It's a message that It may shock you. It may shock you this month. Oh, I can actually trust love, but Mercury is still retrograde. For those of you who've called in new love prior to the retrograde, you can trust that, okay? For those of you who call somebody in during the retrograde, somebody who's new, wait until like mid to late March to decide whether or not you're really going to commit, okay? But somebody in the picture here, it might just be new energy, right? For those of you in committed relationships and it's not a new partner coming in, there's fresh energy. That breath of fresh air energy comes through in love too. I think some of you could be dealing with dating in love with an air sign, and they feel really good for you. Let's get one more shuffle in here. Yeah, Spirit's saying like focus on new love and tell Aries to trust new love. You can trust new love at this time. You may not have been able to even a month ago. You can trust new love now. There's something good here. You're better off with the new than somebody old's coming back in. Somebody new coming in very soon, but it is Mercury retrograde, okay? Exes will come back into the picture. Be careful with it. Aries, I don't think that you really want exes to come back into the picture. Now, if they have prior to the retrograde, a little bit of a different story. But don't be too quick to recommit to somebody. Wait until, Spirit's saying, wait until closer to the end of March. Like the earliest, mid-March, earliest. But you're better off waiting a little longer to make sure you're fully out of the shadow period. But look at this. We have very soon followed by true love at the center. I'm telling you, there's love here. There's something different about you though, Aries. You are calling in better energy across the board. This isn't just in love. Heart-to-heart conversations follows this, and Spirit said air sign again. So keep an eye open for those air signs, even if that's not typically who you would like to date, or if you've had experiences with air signs in the past and those people haven't really treated you well. There's somebody here you can trust. They feel a little more grounded, although I'll say they're not like totally grounded, but I don't think you necessarily need somebody too grounded because you can do that for yourself. The air that fans the flame, the air that fans the flame is what Spirit's saying. Like, that's going to be really good. That's going to be motivating for you. Very motivating for you in terms of career, but also in love. But to have somebody in love who also inspires you to achieve something bigger and better, I mean, that's really somebody who catches your eye and who really gets your attention. Okay, so very soon clarified by give your relationship a chance. Give love a chance. For those of you who are single, for those of you who've been closed off, give love a chance because this is what's showing up. There's something different now. You may have to meet more than one person. Spirit is also saying here, there's more than one partner you should be dating, and you should be flirtatious, and you should be exercising some of those airy traits, okay? So if you think of an air signs tend to be very flirty. They tend to be a little spontaneous, a lot of fun, very playful. But so can you, Aries. So exercise that, okay? I'm also hearing air sign friends. Those are people that you're going to want to start to call in. Like grounded, a little more grown, a little more evolved than maybe people you've experienced in the past. But it feels like you need the breath of fresh air. You need people who aren't too serious all the time. Calling in a soulmate. Okay, this is center of the reading message. Clarify by calling in a soulmate. There's new love here for you. There's something new in love here for you, even if you're in a committed relationship. There's something new. There's something new coming in. For some of you, I'm seeing you deciding to get married. Like it's a whole new stage. It's a whole new experience. For some of you, you may experience having a family for the first time. There's something new here. There's something really positive around starting a family, okay? So for those of you who are already committed, there's something about starting a family. Spirit just said healthy children. So for those of you who have concerns around a child, whether it's a physical illness or something mental, or there's just some stress there, for those of you who've been trying to get pregnant, or a partner has been trying to get pregnant and it hasn't been successful, Spirit's saying healthy child, healthy baby. Something had to align so that you could have the healthy child, the healthy baby. But for those of you who already have kids, they're healthy. There's something better going on for your children in the picture here too, especially if they've been really stressed. And again, Spirit wants to clarify, this isn't just little kids, okay? For some of you, these could be very grown children who have children of their own. You may be worried about them still because you're still their parent. some stress is about to be lifted. Spirit said weight lifted, okay? And that's going to benefit you too, knowing that about your children. Heart-to-heart conversations clarified by romantic feelings. There's love. There's romance. There's a lot of talking. If you are sitting with somebody new and you are struggling to communicate, I know it's Mercury retrograde, but you still shouldn't be struggling to communicate, okay? You would be better off with somebody like tripping over all of their words, but like still talking a mile a minute, like a Gemini dealing with Mercury retrograde who can't speak anymore, okay? But like, but I want to communicate with you and I know we have this chemistry. That's a better experience than someone just sitting there like silent and you're trying to like pull something out of them. You don't need to pull anything out of anybody. That is going to be a sign to get up and be like, peace. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. But again, like a much more assertive Aries, you're not wasting your time anymore, okay? Spirit's also saying with this Aries energy, there's quick momentum. Just wait before you commit to anybody or change anything up until later on in March. Crowning the reading is free yourself. It's all about freedom. Even in committed relationships, and that's where I keep getting air for you, Aries. You may have air in your chart, so this very well could be what you need. An air sign still needs their freedom, even in committed relationships. Okay, commitment cannot feel like this beautiful unicorn trapped, okay? So you as that beautiful unicorn or these partners you call in, if they feel trapped, they're gonna break that fence down or they're gonna jump over and they're never gonna look back. For partners of Aries at this time, be careful with forcing commitment because if Aries feels trapped at all right now, they may peace out, okay? I'm just saying, and it doesn't mean Aries will leave forever, but Aries will shut down the pressure unless you're on the same page. But if you're on the same page, it's not going to feel like pressure. Bottom of the deck here, we have honeymoon. I always get travel for you. That's not going to surprise you. This also speaks to a water sign as well. This speaks to very peaceful emotions. It feels like somebody's gotten their freedom. This is not so much like a caution necessarily. It's like something so good here that you can have commitment, your truest, most beautiful love, and still have your freedom. Like you don't have to sacrifice what's healthy for you to be in this relationship. That's what you're calling in. Now, for those of you who already have this partner, sit and think of how blessed you are. Think of how blessed you are to have already called somebody in at such a high level who still allows you to have your freedom, who respects the fact that you're independent, someone who's not intimidated. Like if you need to travel without them, they're like, just text me, just give me a phone call at the end of the day. Let me know that you got there safe and reach out to me anytime, but I'll respect your space. That is a really good partner for you. I am getting some water sign with this, but I'm getting air sign more than anything for you, okay? Aries, if you feel like you need more clarity than this, reach out to me. I'm available for private readings. I am available for energy work. Again, you know that I specialize in energy healing. I will be back mid-month for your mid-month love reading. But in the meantime, I'm sending you so much love, light, gratitude. Enjoy this. This is a good shift. Even if there are some uncomfortable moments, trust me, this is a positive shift. You are consciously creating this. You are consciously manifesting this. Good job. I'm excited for all of you. I'll see you back here soon. Love you, Aries. Ciao.